Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Kat, known as phamerina.planning here on YouTube and on Instagram. And today's video is a plan with me for the week of July 7th through the 13th using this decorative kit called Just Peachy from Saucy Stickers Co. She did have, I think this was the first kit where she started offering full boxes, which were available in light gold and silver. But in my challenge to myself and in an effort to make decorative kits a little more accessible, I decided not to use the full boxes. Just to try it out. It's tough. It's tough for me. I remember when I sat down to do this spread. After I started like working through it, I found myself kind of struggling a little bit compared to when I did the Just Decorative kit from Dash of Sun for, oh my goodness, what was the Easter spread? Bunny Trails, I think that was the name of the kit. But that's I guess that is to say that like each shop has their own kind of individual style, and I'm much more familiar with Chelsea's collection than Rebecca's. Rebecca's the owner of Saucy Stickers. So I found myself struggling a little bit with um, composing this whole thing together. It also didn't help like that I didn't buy the entire decorative kit. I feel like it might have helped me if I bought the whole decorative kit, but that's on past cat for not thinking ahead to what this past cat was going to be dealing with. Um, so yeah, sorry, I'm a little rusty on voiceovers. It's been like a while. Um, I life kind of got in the way. Actually, I think the video. I believe my video schedule will be set so that people will already know. But if you missed that video somehow, yeah, I am expecting my second child. So yeah, life kind of got in the way. I've been uh feeling exhausted, tired. Those are the same word. I just said that twice. A little bit nauseous, but excited. I guess that's the life update, like the broad, more concurrent life update. Um, so yeah, that's I've got to figure out. Well, actually, I will. I think I'm gonna do that voice after this one. I'm doing my voiceovers a little out of order here. Uh, but yeah, so if you missed it in the last video, I will be expecting a child in March, April 2026. So there's that. But I will go into more details about that kind of stuff in that other video. I'll link it in the iCards, and it'll be down below. So yeah, about this spread, which I started sort of talking about, but then I stopped because I got sidetracked because that's just how I am. That's how my brain be functioning now. So for this spread, I pulled in the fence washi into the date cover area because that was the first thing I thought of immediately when I saw the flip through of this collection was that fence is going in the date cover area. um I also wanted to um not necessarily go straight with the two washies at the bottom, at least on one side. I was kind of going for this like slightly asymmetrical look. um So that was part of my struggle, I guess you would call that. And I think not that it's like I guess I'm so used to shops just having like foil samplers now, with pieces that like completely coordinate with whatever their vision was for the collection. Um, that was my segue into saying, in addition to the collection from Saucy Stickers, I also pulled in the rippable pattern and the foil sampler in light gold from the Pretty Pinko. I believe that because they use the same clip art, and I believe that collection was called Peach Royale. Same clip art, but each shop had their own like spin on it. So since Rebecca doesn't offer foil samplers at this point in time, I know we've people in the PR group have said, "Oh, like I would love it if you started offering foil samplers." But I think that's just something that I don't want to make a statement, but I feel like that's just something that Rebecca's not really interested in right now. She's always kind of pioneered the more kind of journally style of like but just planning in general. Um so I think not that foil can't be journally, but I feel like that's just not necessarily where her interests lie. Um because I think she's one of like the last shops that I can think of that that is in like this realm of um decorative sticker planning that doesn't do foiled samplers. I'm pretty sure most every other shop I regularly use already has them. So I mean it could come in the future. I know it was brought up, but I'm not my pulse on just Rebecca's style and like the way she designs, I don't think it's coming. At least not anytime soon. But she could like throw a curveball at me and just completely surprise me. So um but yeah, so I had a little bit of struggle because like I've also think I also think at this point in time, I was like, I don't want to go digging into my sticker collection and pulling out like 50 million sheets. That's kind of why I really enjoy the foil sampler. Um, because I feel like I didn't have like enough stuff for this collection um in general, but that could just be like I feel like currently I'm in like this weird headspace of with like I don't know what it is, but like I feel like I'm not like it's not coming to me as easily as it did a few months ago. I feel like I'm struggling a little bit more, and I don't know if it's because like I feel like I'm in a rut. I feel like or if I'm like doing the same thing over and over and over again. I don't really know what it is, but like the picture doesn't come to me as quickly as it did before. And like that's part of like yes, the pregnancy has been part of that struggle, but the other part of the struggle has been like this weird like planning rut where I want to play with my stickers and I want to be doing all of these things, but like my brain's just not it's just not satisfied. Does that make sense? I don't know. I'm still ultimately happy with everything in the end, but I just like I don't know. I think I hit in this weird headspace about it. So I don't know if any of that makes sense. And I like didn't really talk through anything that happened on the page. Um, but in terms of like stickers, let's say like composition of this spread. Um, I knew I wanted to do a center bridge. However, I sat and I like looked at after I started the center bridge, I started moving to the left, towards the sidebar. And then I was looking at the right side of the page and I was like, this seems kind of really unbalanced. And the thing with not having full boxes is like like those take up a specific size in the spread, so I know like approximately how much room I'm gonna need, so I know where to put these little pockets of things. So I think that was kind of my other struggle with not having the full boxes or like something consistently sized is that I create these focal points that aren't evenly sized, and then it feels like the spread's off kilter. So that's part the second. And then I guess part the third is that I bought most of this collection on washi paper. Cuz was it this one that she introduced washi paper? It was this one or the one before, I can't remember. Um but I figured why not try a whole spread on washi paper minus the floral corners, because it will give me that payoff, the color payoff, uh, but allow me to have that kind of melty into the page look that I like. However, I feel like this whole spread feels very flat because I don't have those different paper types. Um, so I think that's part of what is like making me not extremely happy with it. Like part of me is just like it just doesn't seem like something's a little off. And I think the fact that it's all the same paper type is also, well, not all the same paper type, but it's I don't have that premium matte and then the washy in the background with the transparent matte in the background. So I think that was also part of the problem, if you want to call it a problem. But yeah, like, did this whole thing turn out pretty in the end? Yes. But like part of me is just like I struggled so much with this and I don't really like I find that I'm not 100% satisfied, which is like not a bad thing because you can't be 100% satisfied with everything in life. Um, but the thing that nags at me in the back of my head is the fact that I don't know how to fix it. What is it exactly that I could have changed to make me like this even more than I do? You know? So I don't know. That's just my thoughts. I'm just saying that, not not every single spread is going to be your favorite spread. Um, so just know that like while every well, I like even when I look at other people's spreads, I always think they're doing some amazing work. Like they must be so happy with what they did. And behind the scenes, they might just be like, yeah, this one's not the greatest, but like it's okay. I'm gonna post it anyway. So I know I've talked through most of the day. I've talked through all of Monday, but let's finally, get into the day by day. Like I, like I always run behind. Um, so Monday, July 7th, yes, July 7th, was a coffee Monday. It was also a paperwork day. And then we had a rainy commute home on Tuesday. I remember I opened, well, it was later in the workday. I opened the Starbucks app and I saw that they were having uh, a Frappuccino Stratos or something. I don't know how it's pronounced, um, which is effectively a Frappuccino, but they blend cold, no, what is that? Cold foam. They blend cold foam into the actual Frappuccino, so it's a little bit more creamy. It's a little less icy. So I turned to my coworkers who regularly get Starbucks. I was like, "What is the Frappuccino Strato?" And they were like, "What is that?" I was like, "Okay, so you don't know about it either. It was launched like either that day or the day before." So I think I got it's the brown sugar one. My normal Frappuccino is just the caramel because I'm just basic like that. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It doesn't have like that weird icy texture when when you drink a Frappuccino too fast and it has that little weird icy texture, so you gotta let it melt a little bit. The Strato doesn't have that problem, at least not to the same degree. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. Um, so I would recommend if you like Frappuccinos but hate the icy thing, try the Strato. Um, let's see, what else did I do? I troubleshooted. Oh, we were trying to figure out this fill procedure. So we fill our final product into a glass vial, and we were trying to figure out if we could do it with a needle and syringe. Spent like almost an hour trying to troubleshoot it. Turns out we didn't need to worry about it because we were doing something different. So we move on. And then Bub went to Legoland. On Wednesday, I had my gowning qualification. So if I haven't explained it before, in my line of work, we work in an aseptic clean room. So you have to gown up into like a full gown, Tyvek gown. So if you can think, um, well, I'm trying to think if there's like a better one than the one from Monsters Inc. Because the Monsters Inc. is like one full like rubber suit, but it's not rubber, it's Tyvek, which is a little more fabricy and it's in different pieces. So you put a bodysuit on, then you put boots on, and as you put boots on, you cross the line from the dirty side to the clean side. Oh no, first you put your hood on, then you put your gown, and then you put your boots on, then you put goggles and then gloves. Um So if it's a full body coverage because you don't want any exposed skin when you're manufacturing a product. So that was what was happening Wednesday. Was my gowning qual, did more paperwork, and then Bub finessed the babysitter to go to the library store, which is Barnes and Noble. He calls it the library store. Um, it's so cute. But he only goes to the library store to play with the train table that's there or get a drink from the Barnes and Noble's cafe. Because that's his one treat a week is a vanilla frappuccino. Um, but yeah. So he finessed the Barnes and Noble strip that day. On Thursday I watched K-pop Demon Hunters, and then oh right, that was this week. So the week after this, Bub went on a trip with my family. He went on a vacation to Myrtle Beach. So in order to maximize our time with him before we didn't have him for a whole week, he was going to come home because when my mom watches him, it's easier for her to watch him at her house. So he was supposed to come home that night. Um, or he was supposed. Oh no. So he was supposed to come home, or they were supposed to come pick him up on Saturday pretty early, like a little later on, not pretty early, a little bit later on because they weren't going to leave until later on Saturday. However, however, they rebooked their car rental, so they were leaving stupid early Saturday. So that meant that he would only be home, meaning that he would have to stay up there Friday. So when they left Saturday, they didn't have to come get him. So that meant that we wouldn't see him for 2 nights. So we were bamboozled, but wasn't really bamboozled. They just made a change of plans without us. Like they didn't talk to each other. Otherwise, he wouldn't have stayed up there that night. So, oh my goodness, I'm running out of time. So, on Friday, we went up to my parents' house to spend the night with him. We watched fireflies in the backyard. On Saturday, their vacation started, and we went to have breakfast at one of the places. Back when we used to live in an apartment, it was one of our favorite breakfast places. So, we took that opportunity to go have breakfast there. On Sunday, we had what's the first thing? I did a Sunday share. We had dim sum and boba tea, and then I vacuumed and rearranged our panel room. Yeah, our panel room or our living room. So that was the spread. Um, yeah, I just feel like it's a little unbalanced, but that just could be me just needing to work with decorative kits more, just primarily decorative kits. But I like my full boxes too much, so that's not going to happen too often. But yeah, I mean, even though I say, I wish I could change this, and this, I still really like how it turned out. And I always love Rebecca's kits, and I don't know how she gets me to love her lace. I'm not a lace girl, but she always gets me to love her goddamn lace. So yeah, I'm not complaining. I love it. So that is the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would love it if you gave it a little like, leave a comment with any of your thoughts down below. And I would be so happy if you subscribe to my little channel here. And that was my spiel, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.